Hello, and welcome to the This Happened Today in History podcast for March 7th. I am your host, Mr. Miller. This podcast will cover a number of topics that happened on this date in history. Please visit the podcast webpage at thishappenedtoday.buzzsprout.com. There you can download the notes page, which will help you organize the information as well as develop your own ideas on how these events change the world around us. If you are interested in hearing more, please consider subscribing so you will not miss out on what happens tomorrow in history. In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell received a patent for the telephone. 3 days later, he and associate Thomas Watson successfully tested their invention. Elisha Gray, Antonio Mercoury, and Thomas Edison all claimed to have invented the telephone first, and the issue is still a source of controversy. The patent was granted as the method of an apparatus for transmitting vocal and other sounds telegraphically as herein described by causing electrical undulations similar in form to the vibrations of the air accompanying the said vocal and or other sounds substantially as set forth. 3 days later, Bell and Watson completed the first successful trial of the device. In his lab notebook, Bell described, "I then shouted into the microphone, the mouthpiece, the following sentence, 'Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you.' To my delight, he came and declared that he had heard and understood what I had said." In addition to the telephone, Bell worked on hundreds of other projects throughout his life, including designs for airplanes, kites, and helicopters, with members of the Aerial Experiment Association. Though he is remembered as an inventor, he considered himself foremost an advocate for the education of deaf children. Bell's support of oral education changed the way deaf children were taught. His wife was deaf, and he also befriended Helen Keller, who dedicated her autobiography to him. In 2012, people in the United States and several other countries marked the 100th birthday of the ever-popular Oreo cookie, according to ThoughtCo.com. Many people have grown up with the Oreo cookies. The twist or dunk debate has been around for decades, with one side claiming that the chocolate sandwich cookie is best separated into two halves and eaten as such, and the other side claiming that the treats are meant to be enjoyed by dunking them straight into a glass of milk. Whatever camp you're part of, it is safe to say that most find the cookie delicious. Oreos have become an icon of the 20th century culture, from Oreo-based dessert recipes spreading on the internet to festival favorites featuring the beloved cookie. It is clear that the world has a soft spot for this famous snack, and the cookie has only grown in popularity since it was invented in 1912, propelling it to the rank of best-selling cookie in the United States. In 1912, Nabisco had an idea for a new cookie, though it wasn't exactly its own. 2 chocolate discs with a cream filling in between had been done already by the Sunshine Biscuit Company in 1908. They called their cookie the Hydrox. While Nabisco never named Hydrox as its inspiration, the Oreo cookie, invented 4 years after the world was introduced to Hydrox, closely resembled the biscuit that preceded it. 2 decorated chocolate discs with white cream sandwiched between them. As of 2019, it was estimated that 450 billion Oreo cookies have been sold since 1912, planting it firmly at the top of cookie sales and winning over the hearts of millions. In 1999, Stanley Kubrick, an American filmmaker, died on this day in England. He was born in 1928, and he lived to the age of 70. Kubrick had created a total of 13 films featuring characteristics of the dark side of humans, and he is one of the most recognized film directors of the 1900s. Some of his productions, such as Dr. Strangelove, received nominations for awards such as Best Screenplay, Best Actor, or Best Direction. Other films, such as 2001: A Space Odyssey, were recognized as well. For this film, Kubrick had won an award for Best Visual Effects. You have been listening to the This Happened Today in History podcast for March 7th. I thank you for listening, and I hope that you have enjoyed learning about historical events from the past. Thank you to the following websites for the information regarding today's topics: thepeoplehistory.com, Alexander Graham Bell at findingdecinia.com, and the history of the Oreo cookie at thoughtco.com. The music used as the background track for this podcast is Americana, created by Kevin MacLeod on Incompetech.com. If you enjoyed the information and would like to hear more, please consider subscribing, as this will keep the historical events in your feed in the morning each day. I hope you have a great day.